and sit down.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and we're going to do something a little different in this content, in this show, episode, whatever you want to call it. That, if you can see it, is my new microphone that I finally acquired, so hopefully the audio on all the future content will be a little better, which is actually on my new hat. You guys can see. Goes through and matches the shirt. So we are getting a little bit of kind of like a brand or a name recognition out there. So with this one, we're going to do kind of maybe a new segment once a week of the different things that I am kind of looking into and studying. I kind of got the idea with the mini series that I just posted, which is got the introductory video there that is kind of the 10 things, kind of a guide for the people that is new into the preparedness community. So if you are one of those people, welcome, and please like and share this. Make sure you click the little bell for notifications for all the future content. But this is going to be a little bit different, and we're going to try it and see how it goes. Give me some feedback on it. A side note, I did start a Facebook page. So if you have a Facebook account, you can go and search the Rural Report on Facebook. And I created that because I can drop new content kind of on the fly, and we can do some more engagement things. We can do some contests, some giveaways, some games, just talk and just have a good time. And we can do things much, much quicker than me to put everything together to do a video and editing and uploading and all that. So I created that over there, and we'll see how that goes. But let's get started with this video. All right, well, first thing that we're going to do, which if I move over and my editing skills or anything, somewhere right here will pop up. And it's going to be the first story, which is 7 countries have put out a report that they are going to decrease oil. And those 7 countries are the UAE, Russia, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Algeria, Oman, and Iraq. And so this could be a major thing. We are just kind of getting spring kicked off. There's been a lot of tornadoes and different things that have happened, some in very strange places. I saw a tornado not too long ago out in LA. There's a lot in the kind of middle part of the country, and there's a lot going on in that aspect, and that affects your your oil supply and your supply chain. And with summer blend coming out, that usually makes fuel prices rise too. So this is just something to kind of keep an eye on. I'm doing a lot of kind of investigative work on this, just reading more into it. I don't think anything's shady per se about this that I can find yet. But this is a little kind of eyebrow raising and kind of a cause for concern. So this is just one of the things that I am taking a deep dive in. Just a quick note that I have found out that may pique your interest on it is that they are estimating that this is supposed to go out, I believe, in May. That they're estimating that this is going to take somewhere about 1 million barrels per day off of the market for oil products. So just one of the things that this is not a time that we need something like that. But if this is something that you're interested in, I do want to bring it to your attention so that way you can start looking into it as well. Second thing that is going to be on tonight's agenda, I'm going to do a really quick overview of it. It was brought to my attention when I watched a video on this topic with Magic Prepper. I will drop actually a link in the description to his video so you can watch it. He was the one that brought this, kind of to everybody's attention, so I want to make sure he gets the credit for it. But he does a really good deep dive into it, as well as giving his opinion on it. He backs it up pretty well. He does state it's an opinion, but what he goes through and talks about is something called the MSS, which is the Ministry of State Security. And it is a China organization, if I can kind of hint around this, that is basically like all of our three-letter agencies all kind of rolled into one, that they station all around the world, including here in the U.S., which has caused concern for me and why I'm looking into it. The weird part on this is that no matter if you go to their website, Wikipedia, you go to a bunch of different websites, a lot of it says classified. And that concerns me because usually when you have a question and you go to do research and there's a lot of classified that comes up, you still have that question and people usually start coming up with their own answers. So this is something that I pretty much can guarantee is not going to come up in the mainstream. So this is something that if you're interested in, you're going to have to do a deep dive into it yourself. I just wanted to bring it up real briefly. And if you have anything on this or if you've looked into it, drop a comment below. The third thing that we're going to talk about, it's going to be something that is, we'll kind of quickly go over it. There is an Australian company by the name of SYPAQ, which is an SYPAQ. And the reason why I bring it up is because I just come across an article and I just basically stumbled upon it. And they have invented, created, and have actually produced and shipped wax-covered cardboard drones. And right now they have shipped them over to the military conflict overseas, if you know what I'm talking about. I don't see it as any sort of a game changer or whatnot, but they do put out a really kind of good video, and there's a couple of videos and some articles and whatnot that these things are pretty impressive, that they fold down to the size of like a pizza box. They're held together with glue and rubber bands, and they can either be flown remotely or they can just be, kind of pre-trip upload and just send them on their way. And some of them are actually being reused, that they go do their reconnaissance or whatever mission they have. They come back, they land, they redo what they got to do and send it right back out. They're very cheap. They can actually do quite a bit for basically a toy. The reason why it piques my interest is that they created these because the way that, if you want to look at it from my point of view, when they had these spy balloons, that if everybody remembers those, sometimes some of the articles would say they were kind of difficult to detect. If you look at the one that was kind of over the Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, all that, we shot a missile and we missed. Usually when you think of military things going forward, that technology goes higher. But it seems like right now we are so advanced and so high that the best way to defeat them is almost bring it back down to a child level. These things are having a very, very difficult time tracking these things in the sky, locking onto them, shooting them down. It's one of those ones that it's a cause of concern because in some of my past trainings, when you train with something, the very first rule is you have to understand it, because anything that you use can and probably will be used against you at some point in time. And so anytime that you, or me, anytime that I come across anything that you're going to practice with as a weapon, it's concerning, because there is a chance, a small possibility, that can be used against you. And drones are already kind of scary enough, but you take and you put something like that in the sky, you can't hardly see it, you can't hardly hear it. There's so much that it can do. It's interesting to me. If it's not for you, I understand. Go ahead and skip it. If it is, it might be worth a few minutes of your time to look into. All right, guys, thanks for sticking with me so far. We're going to go to the very last thing that we're going to talk about, and it hits a little close home for me. If you don't know, I am in Ohio, and this is going to be a little few minutes on what's going on in East Palestine. Again, if my editing's okay, should be something about right here that'll pop up. The CDC is reporting that they have a 15-man crew, that 7 out of the 15 are reportedly fallen ill. And these are not part of the cleanup crews. These are survey investigators that are just going door to door to the residents and doing surveys with them. And they are complaining of side effects such as headache, coughing, sore throat, nausea, basically all the symptoms that the residents have been complaining about ever since the train derailment. And I understand, if you're in a different part of the country or even a different part of the world, that, this is far away from you. But if you look at all the different things of the train derailments and unrest and the barges and all the different things that seem to be happening here lately, this might be a good story to look into. So that way, God forbid something like this happens around your neighborhood, that you can kind of use this as a piece of history to kind of see and gauge how they're treating you to how they treated, the people of East Palestine. This is a little concerning. I understand that when you are of a certain level, the amount or what kind of information that you give out, you have to be very careful, because you cannot cause panic. But then again, when it's something like this, it's almost, and I really, really kind of don't want to say it, but that it's almost completely a lie to say that everything is safe, everything is fine, and then your own people go out there and fall ill, complaining the same exact things of the residents that live there, and you still want to go, no, it's okay, everything's just fine. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on this. This one's a little bit more personal to me. I am a ways away. It's still close enough that being in Ohio, that it is somewhat affecting. I don't want to say directly affecting me, not that close to it, but I am in between that train derailment and the barges. So there seems to be a lot happening right around in Ohio. So I will definitely try and keep you guys up to date on what's going on with all that. Just a side note on the barges, so far I have not found anything that says anything is leaking, but seeing how the way that they're kind of putting everything together with what's going on with the train derailment, I don't know how accurate the information is, or when they tell us if it's actually going to be, well, we detected a leak, but it was, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, So I'm keeping an eye on that. I'll let you guys know of anything in the future. But with that, we'll go ahead and keep this kind of short and sweet, since this is the first one. If anything piques your interest, or anything along those lines, I go ahead and want you guys to take a deep dive into it. Going forward, if there's anything that you guys want me to take a look into, feel free to email me. My email comes up at the beginning of every video, or reach out to me on Facebook, and I will take a look into it. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit the little bell notification button so you can be notified of any future content as the channel grows and everything, gets bigger and we get a larger audience. We'll be able to do some live Q&As and really, start to have some fun with this and really push out a lot more content. Right now, we're just trying to get things off the ground, and this is still kind of a learning curve for me. So I appreciate everything so far, guys. We're really closing in on 1,100 subscribers, and we're I don't know, 35 days since we created this channel. So again, I appreciate it. But just remember, with everything going on in the world, remain united. We're all prepping in this together.